Welcome to another episode of the BTG Podcast. This is episode number 15.
Yes.
And it's a really special episode because we're shooting in a different city. We're shooting in Pune. And we have a really special guest with us, which is Mrs. Kavitha Reddy.
Yeah.
She is a runner. She is a fantastic runner, one of the best runners that our country has. And she's a fitness enthusiast. She's a legend in her space. And we're really excited to get to know you today, Auntie. So before we start, I want to ask one thing. How are you and why is that?
I'm good and I always, I'm happy to do what I love to do. So that's all I am here for.
Right. So you've been running for more than 10 years now and, the love for the sport is always going to be there for you. So can you tell us a few things that you love about running as to how you started the journey and how it is for you right now?
I think destiny, I can say it all. But just the destiny doesn't give you what you want to, but you need to put your effort there when you want to reach somewhere.
Yeah.
But yes, destiny got me there, but with all my discipline and determination or hard work or whatever you can say, I could achieve whatever I wanted to. At least I'm happy with whatever I have achieved. So this is where I am standing with you, sitting here in front of you, and able to speak what I enjoy doing it, and which is a passion or it's life, I can say, for myself. So it all started just out of general fitness habit. And I had more time because I was a homemaker and I didn't know how to channelize myself, the time I had with me, because the kids had grown up a little more independent on their own, and when they were having their own time with the studies and all that, I felt like I had more time with me in hand. And I wanted to channelize somewhere where it helps me also and keeps me occupied too at the same time.
Yeah.
So the only thing I felt was, because we had a little family history of arthritis. My mother was a severe rheumatoid arthritis patient. So, and she had gone through thyroid, and then arthritis came in, and she had a severe kind of an, I can say, couple of years she went through a hell with both the I can't call it a disease, but with both the ailments, she suffered a lot. So somewhere around the same age as I was in, so I also got diagnosed with the thyroid.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So, but I was completely fine. But only thing, at the back of my mind, it always played the fitness
It's
should.
there,
I should get into something where
Right.
it helps me
Better.
Right.
not get into the other side of the
Of the ailment.
kind of in this
Right,
thing. So
right.
that was only thing which I had it. So I
Right.
started with my yoga and a little bit of gymming initially.
Right.
And I was more, as I said, for me, as I always talk to people, said if I start something, I'm very consistent with it. That's
Right.
the only I can whatever I can say, it's like, and it saved me in getting into it more smoothly.
Right,
Is
right.
just that one bit consistency.
Right.
So it helped me through keep it going where till like, and then I got to hear from somebody about running.
Right.
One of my husband's friend was running a half marathon. So first time I heard about it. So I never knew what was distance.
Right.
And there was something called half marathon,
Full marathon,
and all that. That was all new then,
Yeah.
Greek and Latin then. But so when I had spoken to her, then she just told about what's the distance and
Right.
what all about it.
Right.
And then it just was there in my mind, at the back of my mind
Right.
again. So it's not that, okay, maybe I can think about it or something. So something new, which when you hear,
Right.
so okay, maybe you can try it out, all these things. So
Right.
it was all that.
Right.
So came back home, and then I just kind of thought, let me give it a try, how it all goes. So a couple of days I went myself to run. I did 3-4 kilometers in the society itself, around running, jogging, whatever. I enjoyed it, but it didn't really take it off. So, but I said, like, in alone, what's the point going up and down the roads or going around the circles? It didn't really interest me completely. Then I just Googled it a bit. So some groups running in the city. So then I thought, let me just join somebody, maybe kind of. It all started in that process. So then I found a group, and then I started going on the weekends. Because I still wasn't so comfortable in leaving the kids, because they were still going to school. They were still in 4th and 6th standards kind of a thing. So I wasn't too sure of myself to leave all that and then go.
Understandably.
So so I started in that way, weekends, and then slowly I used to run the weekdays. 3 days only I used to run with when I started. So Sunday I used to go with a group, and then 2 days I used to do either on the treadmill or around the area once the kids go to school and stuff. It all started that way, but I just enjoyed doing it. So I think something came because of little bit of gym and the yoga, whatever, little bit helped me to get into the running little more smoothly. So the transition was quite smoother, I can say. So. And I think it just kicked off from there. I think that's what I say it as destiny. Maybe that was destined to me in a way to kind of take up running as a passion or to whatever I have done it now. So it just led from there, and then it continued.
And the journey
is whatever for last 10 years. Yes.
So Auntie, so 10 years it's been since you started.
Yeah.
Wow, and in 10 years so much has happened.
So much.
I think I always tell to whoever I say it has given me a second life. So it's always been like daughter, mother, so many other aspects of a woman, and now something I could do something for my own self. So that was more of an self-accomplishment, I can say, so which I'll kind of look forward to every single day to get up morning. So now it become part
and parcel of the motivating factor for you.
It's more like a motivating factor. I think, something when people talk about me, when say, okay, you achieved something, you have got there, so much or whatever timings, it feels good about it. The more factor is like in getting better of your own self. So that keeps me motivated to do whatever I can until I can.
Because recovery is such a big part of, any sport, not just running. And it's important because you want to keep doing it for a long period of time. So what is the healing process like? Because I'm sure there is wear and tear that happens on the body in this process. So if you could talk a little about, what the wear and tear is like and how one can keep going, because you said you've been so consistent, and just 1 week break is tremendous. So what's your recovery process in general, and what's the wear and tear like is it too much, or how do you manage?
I said, as I been earlier, we were talking about it. So the recovery runs helps, and not only the recovery, along with the thing. So the kind of in a body, when you run, there is a lot of muscle tear, or rather I can say more of an recovery to kind of repair those muscles which have been used in the rigorous running for the training block which you have done it. So basically your nutrition plays a bit of role again. So where you get your diet properly, more nutritionally balanced diet, you get it. So that's the main first point is that, and then your recovery comes in the second, and then how you get back from the recovery zone to your next training block to the basic mileage from where you start, and then to kind of get to the base building and then take up another training cycle. So these are different stages where you get through. So as soon as, even when we run before race, we give it 2 week, at least I give a 2 week of taper down.
Right.
So that itself will recover you to kind of and perform better on the race day.
Correct.
So you are pulling down your muscle, giving the muscle the required
Rest.
rest, and then take out on that thing to fresh legs go on the race day. So we come down in the race last 2 weeks before a race, and then you give a recovery of minimum of 1 week to 2 weeks of
After.
2 weeks is complete good recovery, in the sense ki no running is also okay, but if you feel good, as I said, so you are good to kind of go for an easy
short
run.
runs,
Short runs, like in 6 to 8. That's what I do.
Right.
But it depends again and individually. So
Each their own.
to each it's their own, and how their body kind of recovers. Some of them take up immediately, some can't take it, some needs more, some needs lesser time to kind of recover. It's like a trial and error, you can say, that you understand it, because now I understand my own body better because I've been running for this long. Now I know what I need it. So if I don't feel like running the next morning, I don't run. So rather I give myself that time to strengthen, loosen your body, kind of a more mobility strength training. So again, that's where, so the wear and tear is there more. So you strengthen those muscles which had been broken down during your running. So you strengthen them. So basically more of an strength training sessions you give yourself. And quite a few do the alternative modes, like in cycling, swimming, and because I don't enjoy those, so I prefer to run or do my strength sessions more. So those will be on a little mind intensity level, they come down for me during this period. So the intensity comes in where it helps you to recover better and repair your body better, and then you are rejuvenated also because you have given that time to this thing, and then you feel fresh to train for a next block.
For the next block.
So for me it worked so far, whatever I've been doing it. So because as again I say that, see, we don't get younger, you're getting only older in that bracket, but so you need to listen to your own body more and know your own body better, because you can feel it. So the other can only just tell you what to do, but it's you and how you feel it and what you are today and what you feel it today. So
ma'am, one thing that I want to talk about is sometimes people, they have this mentality in their head that they just want to chase targets and chase goals, and because of that what generally happens is they tend to take their health for granted. Like they feel if they should be pushing their body a little more, and at certain points your body tells you that you have to stop, and that is your way of body, that is the way that your body tells you that it can't take anymore. So what is your view of when people have such kind of a mentality? What is your take on it?
Yeah, see, there are, for me, I feel like in there two ways. It's like yes, you need to push to get better. Definitely. So unless until you don't push, if you want to better yourself, that means again the whole perspective of racing differs to many. So for them, some enjoy just go there and run it out, and for some it's like getting better from what you have done to yourself, what you have done before. So see, that's to everyone that has to be that. I feel like that should be the goal, bettering your own self rather than competing with somebody against rather, because as I said, like in each one is different, each one trains differently. So because what you don't see what they are others do, so you just can't see their numbers and then aspire to get there. So
you need to know yourself.
You need to know yourself and how you train for that target or whatever it is. So it all goes from the training part, from where it starts as a training bit. I said if you want to achieve, so the target goals are good for each one. I personally feel that. So if you have a goal, then you start training towards it. If you don't have any goal to you, so then you are just another runner where you are just running as in fitness. That will be just your fitness activity.
Right.
So if you have any goal, then you start improving from yourself. So
I think
then-
people are very, I would say, they want to achieve it by the snap of a finger. They don't want to wait.
again,
Right.
Fast.
people don't have that patience. So these days, that is you lack seeing that in many runners. So
Right.
everyone wants their results faster and this
Yeah.
thing. So you start a training block, you want to see 2 races, then you want to get better. No,
Right.
I always tell that. I said for me, it's like in getting from. For my first full marathon from 4:19 to recent
Right.
3:05,
3:07.
it took me 10 years.
Wow.
So it took me 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's not just one day thing. So
Yeah.
I kind of improved 2 minutes with each race.
Right.
From like initially maybe a little more, but like in later down, it's just 2 minutes.
Right.
I had to kind of it's sometimes even 1 minute, even at now from 3:05, I want to better myself. I don't know whether I'll be able to better myself or not.
Right.
Keeping to the challenge is like to maintain that also.
Right.
It's not easy to maintain what
Yeah.
you are the present fitness level to continue for the longer period of time. So setting goals, realistic goals is good.
Right.
So to what you, and then you train accordingly to
Right,
it,
right.
and then you chase towards that goal,
Right.
rather than just give just that, okay, I have only 6 months, I want to achieve this. Doesn't happen. And then I personally have learned you learn with each marathon.
Right.
Kind of there are because it's not easy to run a full marathon or any distance to that matter.
Yeah.
It's like you learn from your own failures or from your own
Experiences,
mistakes
yeah.
or your own experiences.
Right.
So if you have done something wrong, you feel like if there is something wrong in one race, and then you train for that
Yeah.
differently, and then you progress from there and then take up to this thing. But yes, you need a patience.
Yeah.
And you can't, other person's target goal can't be yours.
Yeah.
So set your own target, train for it consistently, and give it a try. Yes, sometimes it might not happen
Yeah.
immediately, but
Yeah.
it sooner or later, if you are given 100% in everything, then it is. Because each person, see, I get enough sleep, so every other person will not be getting. So the other factors to add in the running
Right,
perspective.
right.
It's not just the training part also. So
Right.
because we as an amateur runners, we are doing it as a passion. We have other aspects of responsibilities back
Also,
home.
right.
So you are working, and you have other works at our back home, you have other responsibilities, all these things, and you have a other stress and responsibilities too in your mind.
Right,
So
right.
in those aspects, each one is different. So you can't say, okay, she improved or he improved, so why am I not improving? So all these other aspects also play an important role when you want to improve yourself. So when everything falls in place, yes, sooner or later you will improve eventually.
Hard to maybe keep that thought process, but
so that's what. So see, okay, some of them off late people are going over the board with their timings, basically.
Right,
so
right.
too much given in this
Right.
thing. So I said like, no,
Yeah.
this race is done. Just
Exactly. So
get away with
exactly,
that.
yeah.
Move on and then
Yeah.
train. If you really feel okay, you have to do it for yourself.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
give that time, give
Right.
that training, and perform. See, it's not overnight.
Yeah,
thing.
success that
you get.
Overnight success, overnight results.
Not
No,
there,
it's a long process, and it's a
Yeah.
long distance, so it's a long process too.
Right.
yeah, if I may say, life is a marathon, not a race.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I think this works in every field, I feel.
Right,
like.
right,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yes,
So,
ma'am. Yeah.
So, ma'am, like you mentioned that people are very timing centric nowadays, because running has evolved as a sport tremendously from what it was 10 years back to what it is right now. Now you have all the watches and this and also it's like half the people, they are looking at their watch, seeing the time, and then they start getting panicked during the run. Oh, I'm falling, short of time. And it's not even, I wouldn't say that professional runners do that, but people who are just starting out, they only, are very timing centric. So I would say, firstly, what is your advice to people who are just starting? Should they be that timing centric, and should they have the time goal in their mind, or how should they deal with running as a sport when they are just starting out?
If they are just new into the running, I feel just get comfortable with the distance.
Right.
Whatever distance you start with, even again the distance can't be, you just can't go overboard. So each one has their fitness. If you have not coming from any fitness background, and if you are just starting just into the running and you don't have any background of earlier sports in earlier days or anything, if you're starting, then I think it's better to start slow.
Yeah.
Just keep it going with the shorter distances, get comfortable with that distance,
Right.
and then graduate within whatever distance you prefer.
Right.
And then if you are really looking for a time goal, then again I say that, like in whatever that short distance, first 5k, if you say that 5k, just ace that 5k better. So
Right.
get comfortable with that pace. If you want to reach to a certain goal or whatever, then move on to a 10k. Then you get comfortable with that distance with a decent time you feel for yourself.
Yeah.
Then move on to the next distance.
So they should not look at
there is
time.
no hurry actually. I
Right.
feel like in timing is I think irrespective of timing, I think you are doing good without it. So because the distance, it might be just 5k for you, but that distance is a lot for another person
Someone
who
else,
is
yes.
starting.
Yeah.
So you can't see, okay, they are running 5k, the other one is running 10k, I'm just here only, I'm still slogging. People do ping me on social media somewhere. I said I couldn't run 5k also, what should I do? You don't have to. I said, like, and you are not able to do it, yes, if you might feel like doing it, but you should not force yourself to do that distance. Slowly, if you can run 1 kilometer comfortably without stopping, that is great.
Right.
Just do that.
Yeah.
So then maybe you graduate to a 2
I
kilometer.
really love that you're using the word graduate. man.
Graduate.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then you then go to a 5k, then 10k. Feel comfortable with the distance, and then go for the timing.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if you want, your goal is half a marathon.
Right.
Come to that distance comfortably,
Right.
and then slowly improve your pace towards it,
Yeah. Yeah.
rather than chase the timing and then feel like, no, I'm just gone all out and I have suffered, I have got cramps. See, all these things will fall, these things start coming up because you are doing it too much than what you have trained for.
Right,
That's
right.
when it happens. So
Right.
you go
Yeah.
too fast in the beginning because you have lot of energy in the beginning,
yeah.
in the start of the
So
thing.
you should take it as slow as possible.
So it's right way to go is like either go slow
Correct.
or go as per like you trained for, and then try to
Right.
maintain it till the end.
Right.
That
Yeah.
would make it much easier
Yeah.
or a smoother process towards it. That's
Right.
what I can say
Yeah.
with my experience, because we have set a target and we go all out, and then we try to kind of match up at the end, which doesn't happen.
Yeah. Right.
So the last minutes, the last kilometers becomes crucial then.
Right.
So you completely exhausted and you couldn't run your easy pace also, and then you slow down and then you try to kind of finish off without you finish with unhappiness basically.
Yeah.
So you'll not be happy with what you have
Correct.
done.
Right.
So basically start slow or start at your own pace, or rather you start at your pace which you have
You're
trained for,
yeah,
or comfortable
yeah,
to start.
Right.
Yeah.
Rather always go slow and then go eventually can manage. That
Right.
is a good process to kind of way at least to
Yeah.
as to graduate or like to run good pacing. If you talk about that will be like.
People say that running can often be a mind game. I think your mind often tends to play tricks on your mind, on your thought process, and it affects you a lot because you sometimes get worried, you sometimes have brooding, all of that happens. So how do you control your mind in this process, and is running really a mind game, or how does it work?
Yeah, for me, I think personally, I'm actually very strong with my mind,
Yeah.
more in the races.
Mm.
So people always talk about it when I finish a run. How can you be so consistent, and how can you finish so consistently?
Yeah.
Maintain that pace till the end, whatever. Uh, uh, it's a very tough thing to kind of train your mind.
Yeah.
Physically, you're good, but
Mentally.
you are more easy to give up.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
at any point you feel like, okay, the thoughts starts coming in. Okay, no, I'll give up now. It's okay. It's fine. These keeps haunting
Yeah,
in your
bothering,
mind
yeah.
the minute you feel like and you are not in your target paces, or when you are in the race, basically. So basically you train in yourself in the training runs. So you, at least that's what I have learned. The way I said, I always given in my training ki the last 2 kilometers should be stronger. However,
First
2 kilometers went, yeah.
however the rest of the kilometers went. At
Yeah.
least finish that last 2 kilometers stronger.
Right.
So that's, I always do it, even in a normal training runs, or even in the normal run, general regular day running also. The last 2 kilometers, just hold it on. See, to just keep yourself training for it. So because
Right.
at the end, that's what is going to help you, because the tough part is the last 7 kilometers in a full marathon, or 4 kilometers in a half marathon. So these becomes tough more in the mind rather than physically. Yes,
Yeah.
physically you are going to get drained out at the end. That is a known thing, because the distance itself is, and also when you are having some target goals.
Yeah.
So because you train for something and then you want to do a certain way,
Right.
so you definitely are going to go through the pain, but physical se zyada mentally you are
Mentally,
more
yeah.
painful, because it starts telling you ki more giving up. So
Yeah.
you started, the mind tells you more to give up rather than
So
to
the mind tells you
get
first.
Yeah, rather
Mind tells
than
you first before the body.
before the body.
Yeah, right.
So the way I do it is, I kind of train myself during the training
Right.
runs. Even if I have gone off paces in my last few kilometers, but I try to finish at least stronger.
Right.
So that's how I started training myself. And more too, I felt like in women otherwise are a little more on stronger with the mind than the men.
Yeah.
Maybe that is,
I feel women are more committed if they set
Committed.
their mind on something.
yeah, maybe, see, that's more biased I am maybe, but I felt, I have seen that more in many cases.
Right,
So
yeah, right,
women
yeah.
get stronger more
I
on the
think they
mind.
just have higher endurance
in,
because they go
in
through
not
so much.
pain, so
Yeah.
there are many other aspects in the thing, so they have little more patience, they have
Yes.
little more they can work harder comparatively. It's not that everyone gives that required this thing, but somewhere I think for me, I can say that it's like I'm more strong on the race day comparatively
Right.
with the mind.
Right.
Yeah.
And in the process in the last few years, so people kept talking about my strong run, so that plays whole lot of it in my mind when I am in the race. So I keep telling myself, okay, my friends are looking up to me.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's
So many
like, and
people
so
are
many
looking, yeah.
people, in the sense ki they always been cheering at the back of
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I know that they are all looking forward to what the race goes into me. So I know that people are sitting there and tracking me or whatever it is. It always helps me. So I know
Right.
what I will see once I'm finished my race.
Right.
When you go through your messages, it all says it also.
Yeah.
Right.
So now I started in the last few runs. It always plays in. Okay, now they are sitting there cheering for me. So they are this thing. So I tell myself all these things during the run.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you need to train yourself more in the training runs to become stronger at mind
Right.
on the
Yeah.
race day.
Yeah.
Ma'am, there's one thing that, both of us were awestruck when we heard about it and when we saw the pictures, is your Antarctica marathon. We want to know everything about it, how it was over there, when you reach there, the vibe, the aura, the fear, the thrill, the excitement. Can you please tell us everything about it?
See, out of the box, if I have done anything, that is only this Antarctica Ice Marathon, because the rest are all always been road races, nothing different to any other sort, other than just going internationally and running different big marathons. But this is one offbeat thing which not many would do it, because one is logistically it's not so easy to do it. And financially too, it needs a lot of commitment to kind of and do all these things.
Major investment.
Major investment it needs. So it's not so easily done by anybody. So that's blocked me into. I have heard about this. Something like this happens in Antarctica, karke some 7 to 8 years back. Okay. I have known a runner friend through social media. I saw her post and have seen her pictures when she ran in 2011, I guess, if I'm not sure. She ran 2011.
Okay.
And and she reposted her whole experience like in few years later, that like on the day, so as in memory. So that's the first time I got to see that I got to know something happens over there. So it was just out of, maybe we all have a wish list kind of a thing, whether it happens or not. It went into one of my wish lists. Okay, wish I can run one day. So because that during those days it was initial, I'm just into running. So all these things, running internationally itself wasn't happened then. So all these things was still like oh wow kind of a thing. It was like okay, there is something like this, there is something to know about it, all that. So it just went off the thing. So then I started running. So then things progressed as I progressed, and then I went for the 6 majors. Then when I did when I finished my 6 majors, then what next? Which everyone started asking, what next? So because it's not that I have done everything, but to set yourself something. So what next? So something exciting, something to chase, something as a goal, something as an interesting thing. So then I thought, let me complete the 7 continents, because I have done 4 by then with running internationally. Some of the continents I've did. So then I thought, so the other 3, let me just kind of do it. So then I just told myself, I'll be finishing whenever at my own convenience. We'll do all the 7 continents one day. So, but 7 continents includes Antarctica. So that was there in the back of the mind to kind of complete it someday. But then COVID came in, and it all kind of got the process of finishing my 6 marathons and 6 majors also delayed. And when I finished the Tokyo as a last major, so that's when I thought I started planning with the rest of the thing. So because I couldn't sit idle, I had to have some goal to this thing. Then immediately I did the Australia. So as I was planning, as I was doing my Australia plannings, then I was close to finishing the Australia. Then I started planning the Antarctica. That's how it all came in. Then initially when I first checked in, they had a wait list in the process. So it was not completely immediately acceptance was coming. So I was planning it as my 50th birthday gift. I told my husband saying, okay, so this will be my 50th. Something differently I would want to celebrate. So and this would be like a way to kind of do it. But when I applied for the Antarctica, so then immediately I got the acceptance, this thing. So because there were not that many numbers, and there was no backlog also because of the COVID and all happened. So there was not that many. So immediately I got. So I was in a double mind whether to do it in 2023 or I wanted to do it this year actually. So I'll be turning this October. I'll be turning 50. So I thought post that I'll do it in December. That was my plan actually. But when I got it, then as I was discussing with Deepak, so he was saying ki, why you waiting for anything. So if you are planning to do it next year, might well do it. Who knows what's going to be
the case at that
time. So you never know what's in future. So if you are ready to do it, might well take it up and then go and run it. So then I said chalo. Then the whole so the conflict of not this year, that year, then there went off. So then I started planning there for the logistics and everything. So then the whole thing really came into the process. I was very eager to do it, in the sense all excited for the whole experience and all. While I was kind of in planning out this thing, then there were other things happened in the middle of the year. So Nike came up with the Melbourne Marathon again. So when they said they are going to take me as a Nike athlete and then sponsor me for that run, then I couldn't say no, because some
Nike,
it's a brand which I always loved using them. I have always used their shoes, and they have always been my go-to brand. Otherwise too. So and something, it was a pride moment to kind of go. Somebody reached out to me as an amateur runner, kind of so whom they want to kind of again, it wasn't like in women, they want to project women and amateur women as a daily women in the running, how the whole experience, and they wanted to portray that as in their as a project. So it all came in, so then I couldn't say no to it. So then another Melbourne happened, Australia. So because I did 2022 also, so then Melbourne happened, and then because I didn't want to just go and just give it all. So I trained well for it, because so when somebody has put so much of trust in me and reached out to me, I thought I should give my best to the thing. So I trained again. So then till October I was all training for this. And then something else also came up in November with an 50K, which was again a world championship, which was again I was representing one of the athletes from India. So again I said and I thought, let me just been doing all the regular races, something off weight, when something if somebody is reaching out somewhere, I couldn't see. This was the first time where I went off my track. I've never done so many runs back to back. So this was the first time where I just went, okay, let me take it up the way it comes and give my best on that day, on the race day, rather than thinking too much about a race as in training block or like that. So then immediately in November I ran a 50 kilometers. That was my first distance beyond 42K full marathon. So that was another experience which came in. So actually the Antarctica became it went to a back seat there as in training. I couldn't train as such, though we couldn't train for the weather over here. But at least I couldn't even process myself to what needs to be done to train or expect to those conditions. So I didn't have that much time to kind of think for all these things, because I was doing back to back in the last 2-3 months. So then when I finally finished my November that 50K, I had just a 1 month to kind of really concentrate on Antarctica planning and the kind of training. Then I kind of really kind of panicked.
Yeah.
I said I'm just taking it too casually and not thinking too much about it. So
Did you have any goals set in mind for
No,
Antarctica?
definitely not. That
Like
was
time?
like in time goal wasn't this thing for me for
Yeah.
that. That's why I was a little more on a easier casual mode because I couldn't actually expect I didn't know what to expect from
Correct.
me only because
And like you said,
all
you
the
couldn't
conditions are
recreate.
out of
Exactly.
the comfort zone
Yeah.
and what you're not used to. So I didn't know what to expect from myself. So I thought I'll just go there and do whatever I can on that day. So it was the approach was completely in this thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I was not so much into stress mode.
Yeah.
But at the end, I figured out ki I was too taking
Casual.
it casually,
Casually, yeah.
and I haven't prepared anything. What needs to be done, what my gear should be, and what not, because whatever the instructions came from the organizers. So quite a lot of equipment gear was supposed to be rented out over there. I planned to rent it out because I didn't know whether to use all that gear again or not, so I didn't want to buy. So I opted it for a rental which the organizers have provided. So I thought everything will be sufficient once I get all the things once I go there. So that was my mindset. So then I got to speak to somebody who have been into those climatic zones, conditions, because I know I have two friends who have done Everest summit from Pune itself. So got to speak to them, knowing about like in this minus 25 degrees, minus 30 degrees is what.
Minus 25.
Yeah, so I didn't know what to expect. So then I just got to speak to them. And then I spoke to this friend runner whom I said, like, who has done in 2011 the Antarctica. So then I spoke to her. Then she told about her experiences and all that. Then I realized that I'm completely not prepared. I am completely underprepared with the gear, with the kind of mindset I have to.
Yeah.
Everything was then slowly there. It started sinking that I'm not going to a normal place to run. I'm doing something completely different. I need to train, or the thought process should change the way I'm thinking. So that's when it all started. But then the friends were here, helped me out with what needs to be done, what needs to be carried, and how you need to kind of prepare yourself there. But at the end, everything went well to travel. Till travel, I was got all of them gave their gear. Some of them, the friends have just kind of given their gear. So to go to, so because we don't get them here, so we need to go abroad to buy them, and I didn't had that time to do all that and that 1 month. And also I wasn't too sure whether I'll be using them or not, but these friends were very generous to share their knowledge about the climatic conditions and also their personal equipment and all that too. So it was quite helpful of them that I could go pretty much kind of all well equipped to the travel. And as I reached South America, that is where our base location was, that's Punta Arenas in Chile. So that's the base where we were supposed to meeting point was that. So it's a pretty long travel too. It's almost
South
like
America is,
from
hours
yours. No, it's almost taken me 36 hours plus hours from home till the destiny. The drive to Bombay, and then from there to 3 flights with the
baggage,
with all the all that, and then long layovers because the connectivity is not that good to these places from all of us. So it's almost like a 36 plus hours of one way.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Finally, we reached Punta Arenas, that's the base.
Yeah.
And slowly just finally got to realize ki, okay, finally we are there. It's just couple of days into the race to reach the glacier and you'll be there running. So, but still there was all said and done. It's all about weather conditions.
Yes.
So you are there, but you are yet not there kind of an situation.
Yeah.
Because everything depends there on the weather there. So you'll be flying only when you are allowed to and when all the parameters are in the zone to fly. So all these things was all very kind of an key. It's planned, but you have nothing was fixed.
Yeah.
Right.
So when you are flying, when you reach there, when you run, all that is still not completely planned as such.
Yes.
Because when actual day was fixed, but you never know whether you'll be doing it on that day.
Correct.
Or it might delay a day or two. So they gave us these instructions before, with a
preparedness
to kind of it might kind of postpone or prepone a day or two. So we were supposed to reach on particular day. We reached there on 9th. So they asked us to be there on 9th. And the date was 13th or 14th was the race day, was supposed to be a race day.
Yeah.
So there were 3-4 days of kind of where we had that time gap where we can kind of acclimate. So it's depending on the weather, we will be flying it like in one day here and there. They had that buffer for to if need any kind of changes.
Correct.
So that's how it all planned, but everything went on as per plan. Just few hours here and there it went off, but everything they used to notify every few hours whether it's going to be there on this thing. Every you need to get used to give. They used to kind of broadcast it on the group, or they used to tell you if you are there in the. We were there in couple of hotels. All of them were based in this thing. So they used to inform ki this is the time. Everything was very meticulously planned. It was so seamless from the day we landed there to the day we got back. Everything was so seamless. So they came and checked your gear, whether that is sufficient for the race day to travel there, all that. So whether your equipment is good enough to tackle the weather, all that. So the organizers have been there throughout, very helpful, planned everything to the T and so what an experience it was from the time we boarded the flight to the time we got back was like, and it was completely a different world, you can say. So
but how was it running like on the ice?
So that's what. So the minute we boarded, the flight was only the runners.
Yeah.
So exciting to land on the ice. So you land on the ice and you get to see everything around you as just an ice. Everything is white around you. There is nothing you can see. So kilometers you can only see that. So far away you can see some mountain ranges, but otherwise it's all. So and then back there, finally standing on the glacier, on the ice, and to feel that it was out of the world. How much ever I kind of tell about the experience, there's a short of words I can say.
You can't justify it in words.
I can't justify about it, but it's surreal. And to stand completely in the no man's land where you don't see anybody living, human being there. So to be there and run a distance which you always been passionate about it, and being there to run was surreal, I can say. So it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
out of kind of in words, I can say. I really don't get, even now I even get jitters as I finish.
Yeah.
I told them the same. It's tough. It was tough. It wasn't easy. It
Yeah.
was the winds are so crucial, so it hits you onto your face. It was madness, actually. It's crazy, it's madness, but at the still you feel so much of an accomplishment
Yeah.
being there.
Looking at you, looking at how you're speaking only, it's
it's completely, because we were running in a 10.5 loop. There were 4 loops of that.
Okay.
Then there was restrictions. You should not go. There is because there are rules where there's
Like a boundary.
the camp.
Okay.
You have a campsite with the boundaries. So you are meant to stand and stay around that
Okay.
area only, mainly because of the security reasons, because there will be crevasses which you don't know,
Right.
and where you kind of go through, because so that's why we have a fixed area where you can go around.
Correct.
And they had made markings for the 10K loop, and there were organizers there to help you around. They were going around on the ski boats telling you if you are doing good or not, because it's weather again is a challenge
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
all
yeah.
of us.
Yeah.
So because quite a few, it's a varied age groups again, from the youngest being 21-year-old to
Wow.
an 80-year-old.
80-year-old.
Yeah. So
Wow.
so they were all age groups
Yeah.
running there. So they wanted to be careful about what each one is feeling into the race. So they've been there kind of in patrolling around to know whether you are doing well. So they come and then ask you whether you're doing good. It's all good. Yes, fine, because
Yeah.
you're all covered up. Everything was covered other than just even this also, most of them covered, but I couldn't breathe. So this was the only portion where you can see me.
So
If I
your
see,
eye-
I was wearing a ski glasses which was covering the whole ice,
okay.
because when the
The wind,
winds comes in, it's very dusty ice which comes
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that
yeah.
heavy winds. The winds were like around 25 to 35 kilometer per hour winds, which really hits onto you.
Yeah.
And at points I had to turn to my back to
avoid the-
avoid
Yeah.
the kind of and so much into your face.
Yeah.
So because 3-4 hours into the race, you are exhausted, you are kind of drained out, because it's tough to run. The fresh ice, dusty ice which forms the layer, makes you very unstable with your foot, and it becomes tough to run to. So it's
Yeah.
more energy you have to put in with all the gear you have.
Yeah.
All that
Yeah.
3 layers I was wearing on up both
Right,
the up and upper layer and this thing. So it's almost 3 layers with fully covered goggles, because it covers you. But all that gear kept me warm for the weather, but it was tough to handle it till
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But didn't you feel hot while running in the?
initially not hot, but because you are running, so you kind of feel
Yeah.
you are sweating out.
Right.
But at the same time you can't remove anything, because outer
cold,
yeah.
this thing climate is like almost like in 20 minus 20
My,
degrees, so
right.
where you can't
Yeah.
at least we, from the kind of in climatic conditions we go from here, are not used to any
Not
of
at all,
those.
yeah.
Right.
So I tried to kind of pull out my zipper around 5-6 kilometers into the race, thinking that I'm sweating, maybe I should be good. I'll be fine if
Yeah.
I can breathe better karke. The minute I turned, because when the winds face your side, so
Yeah.
it was a quadrilateral kind of an loop.
Right.
So the minute you are turned to another direction,
yeah.
so the your winds are onto your face. So which was completely that the minute, however, with a great difficulty I pulled off my zip again, and I didn't dare to do it again. So It was warm inside.
Yeah.
You sweat it out.
Yeah.
But with the kind of an weather outside, you don't really feel wanting to kind of
Yeah.
remove it,
No
anything.
scope to change.
No scope to kind of change.
Yeah.
I had my warmers inside, 2 layers of gloves,
Gloves,
and
oh,
two pair of socks with again a warmers. So
Any special pair of shoes that you had to?
I did a trail runners only, so they mentioned about it. So
Okay, so they
about
had
it,
specified which
it's
kind
a trail running shoes have a little spikes.
Spikes, yeah.
Okay.
Small spikes than the regular running shoes.
For grip.
So just to kind of help you to
Run on the ice,
ice,
yeah.
which
Yeah.
makes you a little more. It was pretty comfortable with it, but only thing the fresh ice which forms on while you are in the last few hours, whatever fresh falls, was pretty difficult to do it till the end.
Yeah.
So 2 loops were good for me.
Yeah.
And their social media also has put it up on their website, on the Facebook page, saying ki I was leading in the women's this thing. So all the friends and the family started, I didn't know that everyone got to know, because I was told ki there's no satellite, no Wi-Fi, no date, no kind of an
Connection.
connectivity
Yeah.
there. But the minute we landed, they were trying for the first time, the satellite Wi-Fi was working.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to switch it on when I knew it, because the minute I tell the family that I have the access to reach out, then they kind of expect too much from me to update
Yeah.
them more frequently, and also not knowing ki how the whole race will be. There will be more fear kind of this
Yeah.
thing, because I prepared them ki I will be able to reach out to you only once I finish my race.
Correct.
Once I'm back to the Punta arenas.
Yeah.
So they were prepared for that. So I thought, let me just keep quiet and not tell them anything right
Yeah.
now, because let me finish the race and then update them,
Yeah. Let's you also keep your focus.
so that I also will be like little off that kind
Pressure
of pressure
of
of them. Ki to kind of they'll be worried, let me just, because then everything starts, they'll be expecting, okay, all fine, all good, all this, all that starts happening. So I wanted to stay away also from that, and also to keep them also not within any expectations about it.
Yeah.
But to my surprise, the minute I finished the race and I opened my
Phone,
mobile,
yeah.
for the first time I opened and then saw the kind of messages it went on, I said, what the heck? Everyone knows what's happening here too. So I thought this will be the one race where I will update everybody,
Yeah.
rather than people get to know
Getting to
me
know
before. But no, here too it came to a surprise. So they all knew, and then when the race organizers updated that I was leading, so then they were all excited, cheering me on, like, but till 2 loops I was good, but third and all, the weather hit me, and I didn't want to kind of really
Continue.
no, I didn't want to go there as in to win as such, or in that perspective. I want to experience more and do the best in that situation, rather than go with a time goal or any kind of such kind of an achievement
yeah.
or like okay. So though I knew somebody, even I got to know in the after I finished the second loop, that the volunteer at the water station said, you are the first woman who have completed 2 loops. So when she told, but I wasn't expecting, because I didn't know, you don't get to see who were ahead of you, because it's so far and very limited numbers. You don't get to see who is ahead of you, who was
So you're
behind of
basically
you.
running alone
With
most
most
no
of the time, no one around you. Very few places you could cross, and that too in the last stage when I kind of slowed down, then I saw more numbers, not in the initial 2 loops. So I didn't know where exactly I was, so, and I didn't even really bother to also, but I said just do whatever I can
right.
and experience the whole thing. So the third was okay-ish. I could jog little, I could walk a little bit, but the fourth was completely walk. I jogged more,
Yeah.
very little, I can say.
Yeah.
It was more of a walk in the last loop.
Right.
There, and the prediction was supposed to be like in the winds have to kind of and come down by the end of as the day goes down.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it became the other way. The winds were worse from where we started, and it got even more and more. So the last two loops was just a struggle to finish.
Yeah.
But it was an amazing to kind of cross that finish line.
Yeah.
And that you get to hold that flag of yours,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they had kept all the countries' flags
Right.
there. So holding your flag and then trying to cross that finish line on that land where you really don't see you don't imagine yourself to be there.
Yeah.
So it was very fulfilling and kind of a proud moment to say, actually, to be there. To friends who have kind of cheered you, have been along with
Yeah.
you, who kind of taken so much of interest in your journey
Right.
Yeah.
to be till I went there. So it was all like in dream, something which you have never could
Yeah.
really
Never
Dream
could
come
imagine
true.
probably.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it was kind of a real dream
That's-
so to fulfill.
Wow.
I think.
Yeah. But very tough. It was one of the toughest, if I can say, as per running perspective.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of the toughest, I can say,
Okay.
for me.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
experiences wise, yes, it was
The best.
the best.
Yeah.
The best are memorable experiences,
Right.
which
I mean,
you
you
kind
won't
of lifetime.
Exactly.
Lifetime, exactly. Yeah.
Because you don't get to go there again.
Again and again, correct,
So it would be one time kind of an experience.
But would you want to go again, given the choice?
See, in all due respect, yes, but yeah, see, realistically, it's
Very tough.
very tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are many other places where you would want to kind of venture out or
Right.
want to see in similar conditions too. Now,
Right.
quite a few have come out. So
Right.
there is a North Pole, it seems. There is quite a few I got to know while I was there,
Right.
talking to so many other runners from all over countries. They have
yeah.
done so many different places with lot more challenging aspects.
Yeah.
And I heard today only, one of the runner who was there in Antarctica has shared in the group saying his experience to Antarctica 2023.
Yeah, yeah.
He had been planning from 2019 in a quite different in different polar conditions,
Right.
in different races, but for some reason or something, never he could go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It got cancelled, then COVID came in, something, all
Yeah,
that happened.
yeah, yeah.
So for him, after 5 years, he could do the
Right.
Antarctica
Wow.
after 5 years of planning. So for him, that was the first polar experience. So you never know what life takes you,
Yeah.
even if you want to.
Right.
Yeah.
But what came and what I could,
You're glad you did
I'm
it, yeah.
glad I did it,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think I'll take that as a big opportunity for
Right,
me,
yeah.
rather than wish list. You can have a long wish list, but how much it will happen, it's
That's-
not in
yeah.
you. So
Yeah, yeah,
hope
It'll
if
happen
something
again.
else
I think
is
it
there
was
in there,
destined.
yeah. If
Destined,
you have
yeah.
destined to, yes, it will be.
And it was
Yeah.
a great 50th.
Yeah, so kind of a thing. And then now I've started telling everyone, okay, I have already got into my 50th year,
Right.
so I'll take it as a 50th. so just that to say it as, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ma'am, I mean, hearing about your Antarctica experience, I mean, it certainly would have been a dream come true, no doubt about it.
Yes.
And a dream come true for any runner, I would say,
Yeah.
because running that course, I would say, with the challenges that were there at the same time, to know that, and to know that about yourself, that you've completed such a course is itself, I would say, an achievement for anyone. So
Yeah.
truly that. But like, I want to ask this one question. It can be it is a biased question, I would say, for you. You've ran marathons all over the world. You've done the 6 majors, which is Chicago, Boston, New York, Tokyo, Berlin, and London. So out of all the courses, which is your favorite one, like that you would any day go and run a marathon over there?
I would say London.
London, okay.
Marathon. Not for the, for me, that way, most of them have something, with each race, they would have had a PBs or PRs,
Right.
PR, what you say, the personal record.
Right.
But for me, to that matter, so I have PR'd in every single race I have done so far,
Right,
or at least I've maintained the same timing, or at least.
right.
So, but London, for some reasons, I have very fond. It's everything was so seamless. I felt the whole energy for the race, and the people coming out cheering, the kind of an encouragement, you can say, the whole experience was still goes very fresh in my mind,
Right. Yeah.
with the London Marathon. Though any international marathon is kind of, and if you go, at least the majors at least
Right.
have lot of energy.
Right.
It's something which you just can't believe if we haven't experienced to what you have experienced over here in India, to what you go and see outside.
Yeah.
And because the numbers are large. So every major marathon is around minimum to 35,000 to who goes to 60,000.
But everybody can't participate in these marathons. So you have a qualifying
See,
criteria.
all
right?
of them have the qualifying criteria.
Right.
All these majors have a qualifying criteria, and they have other options too to kind of go for these world majors.
Right.
Only Boston Marathon is 80% of qualifying timings,
Okay.
and the 20% is through charity
Right.
and other stuff.
Right.
But all the other 5 majors have a different ways to enter. You have a
Right.
lottery system.
Okay.
Anybody can kind of register for the lottery. You can put down your sins. It's a lucky draw kind of a system,
Right, right.
where if you are lucky, you'll get through.
Yeah.
So irrespective of your time or whatever it is, you'll
Right.
be accepted for that thing. There is a criteria of qualifying for the other races too, but that is smaller bit. You can say
Right.
20% to 30%, but the major chunk is the lottery system, and then charity and other kind of aspects are there.
Right.
So that's why Boston Marathon becomes a little more exclusive for any
Right.
other runners,
Right.
because of it has a more stricter
Qualifying
criteria for all age groups.
Yeah.
Right, right.
So the other races are actually, to be this thing, the other races are tougher to qualify,
Right.
but they are very limited. So you
Right.
have other ways to get through and then go and run. So
Right, right.
Boston makes it a little more different to
Right,
that aspect.
right, right.
But for me personally, if I say amongst all 6 of them, London stands my favorite.
Yeah.
London. I mean, we were in fact, after the TMM happened, we were also thinking, we should run a 10K
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
So-
So good.
Especially because it happens, so close to where we are in the city.
Yeah.
It's like you've seen it so often,
Yeah, so
I've
people
genuinely
there
always
are
thought.
Right.
So it's a different kind of an experience, you can
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
more like it's not just about just go race it or anything. The whole vibes around you when you go for any event,
Right.
whether it's Mumbai becomes being a bigger one, so it has a more of this thing.
Right.
But even in the smaller events, local events, when you talk about, it's more like you are get to meet people, similar mindset and
Right.
all that. So all this energy, positive thinking. So it's a different ways of people meeting from different ways of life. So everyone is a runner there, rather than their other aspects of their life.
Right.
So they can be
Yeah.
a doctor, he can be any kind of an government employee, or whatever he can be. But when you meet as a person, he is just a runner for you.
Right,
So
right.
that brings you as one over there. So you
Right,
can
right.
relate to a person when you're talking to anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
All these things
Yeah.
change
Yeah.
as when you meet
Right.
in these kind of an events.
Right.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, you mentioned about the fact that, I mean, running is, I mean, recognized as a sport all over the world, and you have a lot of international athletes also competing. But more specifically, the notable ones are the Kenyans, the Ethiopians, who are elite level runners.
Yeah.
So, if we have to talk according to their standards, do you anytime see India reaching that standard anytime soon?
Anytime soon, I don't know, but yes, we are getting closer, we are getting better. Definitely every year we can see the athletes getting better and better.
Right.
But we lack facilities in India, and we don't have that much of support system from the authorities
Yeah.
where we
Can actually
require
enhance.
actually in the hindsight. So there is lot of talent,
Right.
but the talent is more because you get to see more of these talent in the rural areas
Right.
rather than in the
Urban areas.
urban areas,
Yeah.
because they are more passionate, because for them that's the life.
Right.
So they work hard. There's so much of talent you see around you, so much of this thing, but they just not able to reach there because of
Lack of
facilities,
facility, yeah.
financial support, and the nutrition again. So somewhere this is where we are still lagging behind, as I feel in my perspective. But it's getting better, but still there is a long way to go.
Yeah.
But we might not be competing, we might not be bettering them or whatever we can say, but at least we can give the competition, we can reach
Right,
there. That's
right.
what I think we can
Right.
in going years.
Yeah.
Future is bright. Definitely we can see if there are more athletes can around, and the people are supporting, and even the individuals who are in the corporate field are trying to put their support in wherever they find. And
Yeah.
now slowly things are getting better, but they could have
It could have been faster.
been faster.
Faster,
yeah.
So we can see more athletes from going from India, representing India everywhere in all
Yeah.
sports, to
Right.
that matter, not
Right.
just here.
Running.
Yeah.
So there is lot of talent. It's just that we need to pull them out, give them that required push and the support from the kind of an required.
Yeah. Your first experience of your marathon is the most memorable one.
Yeah.
The first time of everything you do actually.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
Naturally memorable.
Definitely.
So where was your first marathon, and what was the experience like? Did you think that this is what I'm meant to do, or did you think, oh my God, this is very tough? What was it?
Actually, me personally, I don't think too much about anything. So personally, I am that kind of a person. So
Yeah.
I just don't give too much of a thought process into anything. If I think of doing something, I'll just do it. So how it goes, I don't stress so much or take too much pressure on anything. So I'm more easy. I do what has to be done. So given it this being a marathon, so I do it, the training, whatever required, and really don't stress myself with whatever time or whatever the had to be, or this, if I don't get it, what will happen.
Yeah.
Really don't stress on it. From the day when I was like this, so I have not changed much from then to now. What happened was, like, a very interesting thing is, like, and I have done my first marathon within 7-8 months of me into running.
Running, yeah.
So I started sometime in 2013, mid-September is where I really first day of running, to August 2014 was my first full marathon.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I decided to run this full in June 2014.
Okay.
Just out of I got to know about the Hyderabad full marathon happening.
Yeah.
It was all new into the running, so everyone were talking about it, and Hyderabad being a home state rather.
Right.
Yeah.
So I felt like I just asked the kind of a mentor who was mentoring our group.
Yeah.
I asked him, I said, I wanted to do this full marathon over there. Though it was too early for me to kind of
Do a full
get
marathon.
into a full marathon because it was just 4 or 5 months. But I had given a couple of half marathons then. But not knowing what to expect or whether it was too early or anything, I didn't actually, like in any new runner, it was just out of a thought, okay, I'll do it kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
only thing I can say today is like I have given my training to the T, to whatever has been told.
Yeah.
So I always say that I'm a very good student. So I do whatever is being told.
Yeah.
So I have religiously done all my long runs from the time I kind of thought of doing this run. And I trained more or less, I think I almost trained alone because not many were doing the full marathon that time. So I was this thing. But though there was support amongst the group, running friends were there around, but I ran and I raced. And I kind of didn't know what to expect also timing. So I just went, ran, and then I finished. And I didn't know whether I have to be happy about what I have done and whether I have to be sad about what I have got it.
Yeah.
But I only realized it after an hour or so after I finished, because none of my friends were there around when I finished.
Right.
So there were a whole lot of a big group where we went from Pune to Hyderabad. Most of them were doing half marathon.
Yeah.
So they all must have finished, and I thought I'll see them around when I finished. But none of them were around. But my whole family, being at Hyderabad, my family was there. And quite a few of my cousins ran 5Ks and all that. So everyone were there in the stadium at the finish. I know all of them will be there and they'll all be there to see me. And mainly the group whom I have trained with. So none of them I could see. Then I finished, and then I got to go and see my family. They were sitting in the gallery there. So and I met them, and I kind of clicked pictures with them. But because they also didn't know what to expect from a runner, because that was my first marathon, they also didn't know. But everybody was happy, happy faces. But what really kind of strike me after this thinking, after an hour and plus, then when my friends came to me saying that, oh, you already finished. So that really kind of felt ki, oh, I really have done well. So they weren't expecting me to come so fast. In the sense ki to whatever I have finished they weren't expecting me. So they were expecting much later. So when that kind of thing, when I heard from them, then I
felt really nice.
I felt really good about it. Maybe I have done something good. So didn't know how to expect. So but then that's when I realized, that is there. But I wasn't exhausted, I was happy, I was just kind of a thing. So I felt like so as I spoke earlier too, the process was very smooth for me. It never felt like I have gone, why did I start? Why did I kind of got into this running? That feeling had never come from the day one. So I always felt good finishing a run. Whether it really, very few cases it didn't go well.
I mean, you have the ups and the downs.
But that was in the initial phase of running journey. You are learning through those things. So you learn with, as I said, with because when people now, when they come, so that's what I can tell from I also learned from my own experiences with own mistakes which I have done. I too went all out in the beginning because you have the energy in the beginning. So I learned through it, and then now I can pace myself better now, and I know what to expect from myself. So I start with a particular pace and try to finish at least. The goal is something like that. If it goes bad, yes, it might go. It's an off day, one of the days. You can't ace every race again. But you train to that.
Right.
rather than you expect something else from you
Yeah.
rather. So
Yeah.
my first was,
Yeah.
it's in, even now I can still cherish that day because the family and the
Friends and
friends
everything, yeah.
around,
Yeah.
and Aditya did 10K too that year. So
Okay.
he used to run most of the times. He came with me,
Right.
so
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
that kind.
Yeah.
So
That's
they were
nice.
always
Yeah.
been there
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I want to point out to one thing because you were talking about your first marathon experience, and actually this question came in my mind a few minutes earlier, but then I forgot about it because I was very
Okay.
engrossed in the conversation that we were having. But then there are a lot of people in general also. Like we spoke about it, I would say partly a little about timing,
Okay.
but then they keep targets like sub 2, sub 3. So for the viewers who don't know what sub 2, sub 3 is, finishing the marathon within 2 hours of time or 3 hours of time. So, and they generally do this with very less training, I would say, because they look at sub 2 and sub 3 as an achievement. Like if I'm doing a half marathon, if I do within sub 2, and that means I've done something great in life, it's like that. So what would you say, like having this mentality spoils your run at certain times and you don't get the full feel out of it, I would say? And or should one not have this mentality but just focus on, getting yourself better step by step? What is your view on the sub 2, sub 3, sub 4, that mentality that is there?
No, I think, see, again, it's how you look into these aspects.
Right.
So if you don't stress and put pressure on yourself in
Yeah.
performing, and don't feel really, if you don't achieve something that you should not completely blame yourself for not reaching to that goal target, because there are many aspects goes into it, as I mentioned earlier too.
Yeah.
If you have trained well, yes, those target goals are good.
Yeah.
If you have not trained and still you expect something to happen, then again it's there are two ways to it. So realistic goal
Yeah.
and unrealistic
goal,
goals.
yeah.
So realistic goal is what you have trained for it.
Right.
Unrealistic goal is like you are expecting too much in too short of a time.
Right.
So you have given that much time and
Right.
training, and you think that you have trained well to that target.
Right.
Yes, that makes it a point, but you just like that you want to kind of target that time goal in no time, and then
Right.
want to kind of put pressure on yourself is not a right thing to my perspective,
right.
Yeah.
because that completely spoils your whole enjoyment about and
Of
the
the
passion
sport, yeah.
about the sport.
Correct,
Because being
yeah.
an amateur runner, so you are there as a passionate runner with certain limited goals as per your training
Right.
block,
Yeah.
rather than setting yourself unrealistically for not training
Right.
to what you
Right,
have
right,
expecting for.
right.
So yes, it's again like you are on the two-way path. So you are standing, this and that is where only the individual can understand where to kind of draw a line,
Right.
whether that target goal is good for you or not good for you. Are you stressing too much about it, or are you happy doing what you are doing? So it's for me, it says like yes, but give yourself time to achieve that goal. Don't rush it up.
Right.
Give that time.
Right.
So your results comes with patience.
Yeah.
So target is always, at least goal are important, I feel.
Right.
Because if you don't have any goal, then you are doing
Irrelevant, yeah.
irrelevantly, and you'll train also irrelevantly.
Yeah.
So in the sport, yes, I feel like at least if you want to kind of better yourself,
Yeah, tough realistic
yeah,
goals.
realistic
Yeah.
goals are important
Right.
to
Avoid
continue.
unrealistic goals.
Yeah, to continue in the
Continue, yeah,
process.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, see, today if I say that, okay, I'm done with all my this thing, and then I'll sit and I don't know what to do tomorrow morning. See, I can go and run. Definitely, I can go and run.
Yeah.
But that will be like a regular running. So your other, if you don't have an, okay, I have registered for this marathon, then I'll train for it.
Right.
Otherwise you'll be running for your fitness.
Correct.
So the targets are, yes, good.
Yeah.
You need to have those goals if you want to really improve
Get
on
better.
yourself. But don't take it too much.
People take it to the ego, I feel.
Sometimes there are many things, many aspects. So yeah, he has done it, I haven't done it. She has done it, I haven't done it. So that comparison to any other runner is
Not good.
no, completely no. To your own, yes.
Yeah.
But to someone you see as an equal, probably like I run the same timing and he or she has the same timing, so I can compare myself with him. Do you think that is justified?
No, again, it's an individual thing. So that's what I said. I can get 7 hours of sleep. That guy, that
Yeah, there are a lot of external
not
factors.
external factors
Yeah.
also to add, right?
Right.
So your body is going through the all other external
Right,
factors
right,
too. So
right.
the external factors are different to each individual.
Yes.
Right.
So if you completely say, okay, I'm also going through the same things, I'm still not performing, which in a life it's not
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's completely different. So even your own body, with all the external factors being the same, also
Right.
will not perform the same way.
Yeah.
So it's very individual sport, definitely. So definitely you can't compare it with
Another
person
person,
who is trained with you
Yeah.
every single run too. You can't expect the same thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like, so that's very unrealistic of any
Right.
person to have that kind of a
Yeah.
goals.
Yeah.
So should not have, definitely. So improving your own self, yes.
But don't compare yourself
Don't
to
compare
others.
yourself with
Right,
others.
right.
It spoils your own enjoyment.
Right.
It spoils your own the whole complete process too.
Right.
Comparison is the thief of happiness. Joy.
Completely. So you get away, you just kind of ruin your whole experience completely.
Yeah.
So
Ma'am, like one thing I feel running as a sport, if you compare it with other sports, you don't require a lot of gear. At the end of the day, it's probably just a running shoe that you need. You don't, I mean, watches and all are just, I feel, extra accessories that people have to track certain aspects of their run.
Yeah.
But till an extent, how much do you feel a running shoe helps you improve your run? Does it have a major contributing factor, or it's a very minimal factor according to you? Because you have a lot of people placing emphasis
I
on the
think
shoes.
more to see. I feel more of a
Mind game.
Yes, physically they are.
But
They do.
Right.
You do find a difference
Right.
Yeah.
in the kind of technology which has come up in last few years
Yeah.
with the kind of shoes which have come in. Yes, there is definitely there. But at the same time, I'll see that we are more mentally
Mind-driven.
mind
Right.
placed too with all these things. So if I say that there are many athletes out there who don't have any of these
high-end
shoes,
Yeah.
still able to perform.
Right.
So that doesn't take away from what they are doing.
Right.
Yes, it makes a difference, and it's giving you the little more comfort
Right.
to already been put in the labor and the hard work into the training.
Right.
Yes, there is these are helping these days. There is few percentage I can definitely give those to the shoes, but not completely.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
completely.
So what you would say, like a 90% is your own, 10% is shoe?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
we got it right.
Yeah. At least for me, yes.
Yeah.
I would go for that. So I don't completely go, okay, if I don't have those shoes, I will not perform. No, I don't think.
Yeah.
But yeah, see, to kind of an comfort level, to the kind of an injuries which you kind of talk about, running longer and putting so much of miles and all, these are shoes play a major role because it gives you that support to your foot.
Right.
Correct.
So, and it helps you, and with the technology, the technology is making it better.
Yeah.
You have a better bounce, better grip,
Yeah.
better support. All these things they
Yeah.
have, yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Right.
But if you say Comfort level, yes, 25 to 30% you can say the comfort, and performance wise, yes, 10% they might add to it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but at the end, you need to put your.
I think this reminds me of one more thing. Yesterday I think we spoke about it.
Yeah.
Running as a sport, I mean, like we've been talking about, it's an individual sport at the end of the day. Especially when you're doing long distances, you're running 21 kilometers or 42 kilometers. You're doing it all alone. It takes, 3.5, 4 hours for an average person to do it.
Yeah.
What are the thoughts that goes through one person's mind while running alone? I mean, some people listen to music. Some people don't prefer listening to music. But being alone with yourself for 3 hours, that too running, putting your body through something, what exactly goes through the mind? I mean, first
I don't know, I have quite sometimes people ask me this question.
Yeah.
Now, to go back, and when I go into the and think, what did I really do today while running, even my training run?
Yeah.
If you say, I don't have anything to.
Do you notice things happening around you?
In the race, definitely no.
Okay. So what do you think in the race?
So race was just, I think I'm into it, I guess. So I
Yeah.
really don't have any kind of a thought process. Many times I gave this thought to myself, okay, what did I think today? But at the end, it was completely blank. Sometimes maybe on a normal easy run days, I can say that, okay, maybe I would have thought if somebody is there, I would chat with them. If I'm doing all by myself, then maybe initial few minutes, maybe I would have given it thought about what's going around in the house, or maybe I haven't done this, maybe I have to do this after going back home. Few minutes maybe. And then afterwards, I think it's more like a meditative mind. I
just
think
going to
so.
ask, yeah.
It's more like you are into it. Okay, so you need to do that. So that time gives you that
Yeah.
peace to your body. It helps you to kind of clear off all the thoughts from you. So
Yeah.
which otherwise, even in sitting in a meditation, you can't do it.
Yeah.
Right,
So I
right.
think that helps. At least for me, that helps. So I have couple of times people have asked, what do you think? What are your thoughts? Do you think about anything? Do you kind of listen to music? No, I don't listen to
Yeah.
anything. I go hands free.
Right.
I go very minimalistic out, just go out and run. So
Not
very
even the mobile or the
no,
mobile?
nothing in my hand.
Wow.
So
Probably just a
so
watch to track your
just
time.
watch a watch. So
Yeah.
with the easy runs, I don't even track that too. So I just switch on, switch it off. So
Yeah.
in my speed workouts, I do check the kind of paces on once in a while.
Yeah.
But thought process, yes, initial few minutes maybe a little here and there, but the major chunk will go as in just blank.
Wow.
And into the race, maybe at the end, if I can talk about it, then when it's getting tougher, I only think about the friends who are just
Waiting at the finish line.
Yeah.
and the encouraging words whenever you feel like and you want to. So the messages which people would have sent the earlier day,
Yeah.
wishing us, all that. So those things will come. So that time.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's completely more or less, I can say it's a blank mind.
Blank mind.
It's very-
Yeah,
It's
that's
more.
very
to-
much a meditative mind.
Yeah, more
that
I
is
can
what it
say
is.
that,
Yeah.
You are a role model for a lot of people out there. You're an inspiration. People look up to you when the term running fitness comes into the topic. But I want to ask you, who is your role model? Who inspires you? Like, who do you look up to when it's about all these things?
Yeah, I don't know about the people do talk about an inspiration. Everybody has their own.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
But I feel like in each person whom you meet gives you some kind of an inspiration.
Right.
I somehow I don't say that one individual whom I can talk about who inspired me or who has this thing. There are
Yeah.
many. Every day I meet so many people. Are in this last 10 years more into this running journey. I've met so many people
Yeah.
and so many walks of life. Each one has taught me something different. So you meet somebody, so it's so different with their life,
Yeah.
their way of this thing, from where their backgrounds and what they are doing. Everyone had given some kind of an learning, insight, or whatever. So I've met so many people. I have kind of can't pinpoint one single person, but there are so many in this journey whom I can say that they have taught me so much, who inspired me in a different ways from the beginning to now. That's what, if I name, there are so many. So I can't name just one.
Right.
So initially when I started running, so even the person who used to run, there are a few women runners. They were 10 years older to me. I know them even now in this city. So they were running more distances then. So the inspiration was that. Even when I started also, the first thought of, said like I got the running, heard about running is from the person, from a close friend of ours. So she was older to me. So when I said like, and when they could do it at that age, I think maybe I can do it. So it all started from there. So she inspired me to get into that thought process.
Right.
And somebody whom I started running, so even young or old, it didn't matter. But to see them do it, each person inspired. And more to women, I look up to these days more women, because there are very few women in this sport, are more into Indian sports to that matter. So we still are in that number wise, or percentage wise, we still are far lesser to them, that way to the men's. So I feel like, and whoever have taken up something, it needs lot of effort from within. So each person who is out doing something, if not running, if any kind of, and even the smallest things, so step out, I go and see today to walk. So there are so many older women, aged senior citizens come out and walk. So it's an inspiration to see them too, to come out. I come back most of the times, come back and tell my husband saying that you still haven't started. There are so many people who are out there who are old, have many things. And I tell, even it's like we give excuses to each other. Okay, today I am tired, I have too much of work, I'm so busy at work, I don't know. I have doctors, I have an IAS officers known, I have like in
CEOs,
to name
and
it,
all,
CEOs. They are able to give that time for their passion. That means that no, if you
want to do something, you'll really do it.
You'll really do it. So that every single person who is out and taught you some way or other inspires you. So that's what I tell, ma'am. People come, reach out and say that, okay, you inspire me. No, you are inspiring many others. The way you started it, that itself inspired many in your own circle, in your own way. So you are inspiring each one. So you both are doing so. Your passion. So it's the same thing. So it's like maybe this needs a physical ability, but anything you do out of this thing inspires others. So you might be inspiring many others to take up something who are really thinking about it. Hopefully. So that's what. See, hope is the only thing which we can say, and we'll share that. So you guys are sharing a platform by reaching out through us, or however it is. So maybe people who have a slight thought about it would get inspired looking at you. So each one is inspiring the other. So do what you do. And I actually been more I always used to say that, like, and I was more stubborn, more rigid to myself, but now I learned easing out. It gave me more of a patience. It gave me more kind of an appreciating others. I have changed. It's changed me. This sport has given more of a positive side to myself rather than anything. So because this has given me, because that much of love I got from people, because it's always give and take. So you get it what you gave it.
Give and take.
So so if you are inspiring, so that's what you are doing it. So what you
correct.
Thank you so much, Auntie, for complimenting us for that, but also true that
it's true. It's true.
The way ma'am has put it through is I mean, spectacular. I mean, I feel there couldn't have been a more perfect answer the way you just gave it right now.
Yeah.
So I completely believe in that. So I said no. So I said no, you are. So the minute you put into that particular shoe in whatever you do, you are
an
inspiration.
So I think one last question.
Go for it, bro.
I think Anway, you should ask that question, the 36th one, because you were really excited. I remember.
So because there's so much running happening in the city that I'm from, I always wondered, where do I start? And that's, for me, the thought process started with which shoe should I wear. Now, because it had come up earlier, but I still want to ask. I think I already know one part of the answer, that which is your favorite brand. But what is the best brand that you feel supports running as a sport in general? Not necessarily just the shoes, but what is a brand that is so holistic, that covers all your needs?
All accessories.
Everything, like from whatever you might need as a runner. And if it's the same, it's fine.
See, I personally am kind of use all brands.
Okay.
In the sense ki I don't stick to particular. At the same time, I have some specific things to specific things.
Yeah.
So you can name the brand for the specific things?
Yeah. See, with the shoes, I go to Adidas, Nike.
Yeah.
See, Nike is more of a, for me, the race is go-to is Nikes. So any day you ask me how much ever better shoes have come up now, all brands have come up with their good performance shoes. But at the end, if you ask me, keep it over there, I would pick Nike.
Yeah.
So race, yes, Nikes. But I train in Adidas because the foot type suits more to me.
Comfort in training is Adidas. And
yeah.
then you can
I'm more, because Adidas gives me, I have a little broader foot, wide foot. So Adidas have more of those,
the comfort
in the wider shoes. So the Nikes are a little more pronated in the front foot.
Correct.
So as a training, I prefer them, the Adidas, Brooks, or other brands. So I don't stick to a single brand, but race, as I said, is specifically
only Nike.
Only Nikes for the shoes, if you talk about. And I use the apparel. If you talk about it, I use mixed brands. Again, so more often favorites is Lululemon, which we don't get it here, but I get by all my this thing whenever I travel abroad. So the best I can say about my apparel is Lululemon. I still afford to I don't step out without those shorts. Shorts are the tops are I can still change to a Nike or whatever, Under Armour and all that. I try it out. But the shorts is, as of now, it's been like 4, 5, 6 years now. It's been Lululemon. So I'm ardent. I
think ma'am blatantly sidelined Asics, Puma.
So yeah, shorts somewhere or other. I didn't like any of these brands. So for me, that one particular, what I wear is very much, I am very particular about it. So if I wear it only if I feel good about it. So at the end, I need to enjoy myself, and I need to like myself how I look.
Fair enough.
So everyone says it's like now people have given away at home that I buy too much of only sports. So these days say like, you need to have that horse ka jo you keep that things on the sides na. You need to put it when you are out in any shopping mall. So you should not look here and there. You need to be only straightforward look. So my kind of, and it attracts the brands, sports brands keep looking here and there. But realistically, if I talk, so I don't stick to one brand. So that's why I enjoy whatever I like in each one. So so I use Under Armour, I use Brooks shoes, I use Adidas shoes. Shoes are Brooks, Adidas, and Nike. These are the three I have used so far. And apparel, I can go with anything.
But
The
first preference is-
goes to Lululemon.
Okay.
I
If
think
you
that
have
was-
to name the brands, yes.
Yeah.
that was a very
Yeah.
net worthy answer, I would say.
Yeah.
So, rapid fire.
Okay. Well.
So, for
thank
our
you so
viewers,
much.
what the rapid fire is.
Yeah. Okay. Rapid fire. I think we've done it in a couple
Yes,
episodes.
yes.
We always say not like coffee with Karan.
It's
Ah,
definitely not like coffee with Karan.
Still,
Hope so.
inspiration is from there.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, questions are very different
Yes.
actually. So we'll
Looking forward
just-
to.
I think it makes it
This is the first time, so I don't know how well I'll be giving that
Okay.
rapid
Rapid
answers.
But, ma'am, like, don't think too much about
Okay.
it.
What
No.
we can say is you
Yeah.
can keep it as short, as
Short as
crisp as
As
possible.
crisp and don't, I mean, generally happens is people want to give like the perfect answer, but that's the
Yeah.
point of the
No.
rapid fire. You need to be
There's
like,
no perfection.
there's
no
no
perfection.
honesty.
Yeah.
The fun goes off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll
Yeah.
go
Let
one by
me see.
we'll go one
Yeah.
by one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll start
Yeah.
with your.
Okay.
Okay. Here's our first question. I like this question. Okay. Favorite cheat meal post a run, before a run, or just in your fitness phase, or you're preparing for a race?
Rice.
Okay.
Rice.
Just rice.
Rice is a cheat meal.
Yeah.
We have it
Because
every day.
I avoid it because
Yeah.
that's my weakness.
Okay.
I can't control my quantity.
Carbs.
Quantity.
I thought it was
Carbs.
vada pav. After the TMM yard vada pav.
If you're given me a choice, rice. Rice with anything.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, the second one.
Yeah.
Running while listening to music. Although you've already covered this. Running while listening to music, running without listening to music.
Without the music.
Okay. Okay.
Hands down.
Marathon in India or outside India?
It has outside.
Okay.
If you ask me quick question, outside.
Outside. Okay.
For all.
Can we get a quick reasoning to this?
Quick reasoning is just that the euphoria, the encouragement you get to see, and the kind of an
Excitement.
not excitement, the kind of an respect you get for the sport makes you feel good about it. Here you go onto it's building up now.
Yeah.
People are coming up and then kind of respecting the sport. Otherwise, if you are stopping the traffic for some reasons in an event,
Right.
people really shout at the kind of volunteers at this thing. So we still
Yeah.
haven't there yet. Because of you, they can't kind of get away with because it's a hindrance for them. They
Yeah.
can't, the traffic is stopped or traffic is blocked for certain times. So it's stopping their regular routine.
Yeah.
So they don't enjoy that kind of a thing.
Correct.
They don't respect what is been happening.
Right.
So just for the simple reasons,
Right.
that's it. But
Right.
Running is the running otherwise.
Okay.
But if you see
Yeah.
that, you are, if you go out, and that too more of the big races, if you go, from the point you enter the expo till that this thing, so they look up to you like you are like one big
Celebrity.
or a king. So each one is being so cared.
Yeah.
And that doesn't
cared,
happen in
but
India.
That doesn't
Yeah,
happen over here.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that wow factor still will take a while probably.
Yeah,
But it's
so
nice.
that respect to that sport comes
Respect, exactly.
Yeah.
more to that
Yeah.
period, to that sport or activity you can, or whatever you
Right.
can say. But
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is still not
So,
there. yet.
ma'am, I'm going to be naming you some brands now. Now you have to rank the order according to from first to last according to the preference that you would be using. it.
Okay.
So the brands are Nike, Adidas, Asics, and Brooks. So first to fourth, how will you place them?
Nike, Adidas, Brooks, and Asics.
Asics. Oh, Brooks are number third.
Because that's what I used. So Asics, recently I picked up a shoe, but not
good.
used this thing. So whatever I have used, I have ranked.
Okay.
Okay. Now again, a little quick. So whatever comes to mind. Your top 5 marathons, obviously from first to last, whichever first one being your most favorite, most memorable, and fifth can be whatever. I mean, so first to fifth.
First
top
to
5.
fifth, yeah.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly the first marathon, which I did, the Hyderabad marathon,
yeah. Yes.
because being the first is always the first goes.
Yes.
And then the Boston Marathon for all the different reasons, because the year I did was the weather was crazily bad with all the rain and the kind of this thing. So that is one of the this thing. The third is London, because that's still amongst the whole 6 majors for me. That stands out is
Right.
London for
Right.
all the experience I had it in that.
Right.
And then goes Antarctica.
Okay.
And then the last one is the Tokyo, where I have PR'd the last one.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
Beautiful.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's actually nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clarity of thought. It was pretty easy for you to listen.
that was actually.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the most unusual thing that you have seen while running, that you're like, whoa,
Like while running, you may have got a, "Arey, ye kya ho gaya?" Like, something.
from your races or while you're just running here.
No, running perspective, something, this thing. Actually, I can only say that, like, in people running, weirdest thing weirdest thing only. See, when women running faster than or along with the men is really looked up to. So they don't. I have had a couple of experience saying that. They don't congratulate the guy who also have crossed along with me, but they appreciate the women because he
yeah.
thinks that she has really done because she could run along with that
Yeah.
Right.
XYZ
Right.
guy. So he will appreciate me
And
more
yeah.
to that
Right,
the person who is this thing,
Yeah.
who are this
Right,
thing. So
right.
somewhere they still feel like, and women doing it
Is
good
a
in this
big
sport
deal or
is a big
something.
thing.
Right,
So I had couple of experiences that way. So
Okay.
you have really done well, you have really done
Yeah.
good. So these you get to hear. So that
Yeah.
you don't really get to hear more to the
Yeah.
women.
Yes.
See, it in a way still, yes, it's an encouragement word,
Right.
but so it's more looked up to, or whatever you can say.
Correct. Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying. Yeah. Maybe someday, because I think now the tide has changed, that physical strength, which was considered only to be a man's thing, I think now.
Yeah, because you
is
don't get to
becoming-
see more. Still, not so many
Right.
Strong women.
star
Yeah.
women performing in that level. We still have very less numbers in that
Right.
performances. If you're
Right.
saying that to where those are limited numbers, so
Yeah.
it's still. That's why it's been. That's why I feel that I have been more noticed now
Yeah.
because of just that.
Right.
Because we still don't have that many women runners
Right.
in the country,
Yeah.
where with that kind of a timing. So
Yeah.
somewhere or other, that's where it just kind of takes the attention from
Right.
Got it.
everything.
Right.
Otherwise, every long distance runner give that much of an effort and hard
Yeah,
work.
Yeah.
So just because you are little faster is what is more noticeable.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
That's nice.
Okay. Okay. Here's a fun question, and I'm actually very curious to know your answer to this. Running alone or running with a partner / group? What do you prefer?
Group, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
But in the races, many times it happens that you are on
Yeah, you're on your own,
yourself.
yeah.
But yes, training with a group, training with a pack, or with your fellow partner, similar goal.
Like-minded people.
people
Yeah.
are more. If you have some target goals, if you are running with somebody with the similar goals, will help you to push your own limits.
Right,
Correct.
So that's what I always been thankful to the group which I do it. So
Right.
all because of that I have where I am today. Because alone you can do it to an extent, but at the end to push that one
You
bit
need those set of
more,
people.
that set of
Right.
Yeah.
that need that
Right.
company or that kind of a little better running gang along
Right.
with you will
Yeah.
help you to perform little more better.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So, if you could swap places with an elite runner for a day, who would that runner be, and why?
I don't think I would want to swap. I would want to be myself
Yeah.
and do whatever it is. Yes, given a chance, if you say that, like
Yeah.
if you had to, there are many women here. I am seeing these days who have come back after their postpartum
Right.
and after their pregnancies and doing so well now with the recent US Olympics. There are a couple of women
Yeah.
who came up. really admire them. So I would kind of in wanting to step into one of them and then kind of in. So they are not one single person, but I still see, because they are in their late 30s
Right.
and still going strong, and some of them are in early 40s too. So, and they are giving that competition to
Right.
where they are.
Right.
Yes, see, to all hindsight, it's not possible now, but they are doing.
Right. That's
So that kind of gives it all key. Anything can happen. Anything is possible.
Right.
Happen is make you possible, because if you have that kind of
Approach,
not only approach, yes, they are into running, they are into this kind of fitness from before, but they could come back too with their break and then do so well even again. So for me, being an homemaker and taking up running in the later years of 30s, so I can relate more to them rather than the young athletes who started their journey as an kind of an runner, professional runner. So I relate more to these kind of women too rather than to the younger ones.
Correct.
So maybe that side, if we say that, yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. We're coming to the last few questions.
Yes.
Okay. So this is my last one.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with. Wow, I like this question. Okay. I've liked all questions. Okay. What's one thing that you feel at this stage, now that your 10 years are complete, that you would still want to acquire as a skill part of your running? So it can be maybe part of your physique, maybe something else in your fitness. But what is 10 years in? What's your next goal or target, or something you want to have? Something you still feel I can do, more with or do better with?
I don't know whether I can do better or not, but my only goal ahead is to just give my best to whatever I can, and my body supports until I can, until my body supports. I mean,
Is sub 3 a part of your plan?
I was, because see, sub 3 is a plan. Yes, it's a plan, but it's a very intimidating plan.
Yeah.
So it's not an easy one. I know
right.
it's not an easy one, but I would be happy anything if I could get closer to it too.
Yeah.
So in the process, even if I improve even a minute or even half a minute, also I would put my training. So that is all I would want to do
Right.
future.
Okay.
So my only, the goal, as I always said, that without a goal, there is nothing you could really look forward to.
Yeah.
So my goal is like either I maintain or get better to where I am. Right. So the kind of the journey is towards it. Whether it happens or not, it's not the ultimate thing. But at least I would train.
You would want to have one.
I would want to. Right. So
okay.
At least till my body supports. So far I feel that it's good. So I'm going good. I'm fine after all these years, and I feel that I can give another couple of training cycles in the same intensity, at least another year or so. Okay. I don't know in future what it all goes in. So until then, I would give my best to better myself.
Yeah.
So the goal is always to be better of myself. Yeah. So yes, in running perspective, yes, and in other aspects, this is all part of this thing. So you want to get more strengthening, better, more mobility wise. So this helps you in the running. So it's all interrelated. Right. So you want to improve in every aspect to which will help you in that running. Right. So that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Andy, the last two questions. Rank these marathons which are from India in the basis of the order that you would run them. TMM, Airtel, Bangalore and Calcutta. So which are, if you have to rank them from first to last, how would you rank them on the basis of how you're going to run them?
So far I've done all of them.
Yeah.
So other than Kolkata.
Okay.
So if you rank me, you want me to rank me in that order which I would like to do it?
which you would prefer doing rather? Like,
See, TMM is a go-to thing. So that's by far the ritual is like if I am here running and no other things there. So yes, TMM has to be there.
Yeah.
That's so Airtel Delhi I have not ran for longer time because it's not happening. It's not in the month which I would have preferred to. So you're talking about the Airtel Delhi, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Delhi. So that has not in my. So the second comes. What did you say?
Bangalore, Calcutta.
Okay. Then the second is Kolkata, third Bangalore, and then comes
Delhi.
the Delhi. So if it is the Airtel is not anymore Airtel, but they also the sponsor has changed to the this thing. But
It's just Delhi Marathon now,
it's
right?
no, it's now it's who is the sponsor? I'm forgetting the name. Something with Vedanta.
Okay.
Okay.
Vedanta
Yeah.
half marathon it has become.
So it
Earlier it
stands-
used to happen in November, which I used to enjoy the climate and
Right.
this thing. Now
Gets a
they
little
started
chilly.
they moved to October. Since
October, yeah.
October I have not ran that. So it's no fun going all the way there.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, just
Right.
for a course. So yeah, if you want me to put in the list, yes, Mumbai, Kolkata, Bangalore, and then
Delhi,
the end with
Okay.
the list.
So this is the last question of the episode as well. It's a little fun one, and my parents are really going to be looking forward to this question. So
Yeah.
just to give context to the viewers, ma'am knows my mom and dad.
Yes.
So between my mom and dad, who would you run a race with? Yeah, we have to choose only one person.
No, definitely mom. mom. I have hands down with a kind of in this thing. See, I always go with the
Yeah, a lady.
lady
Yeah.
to the guy
Yeah.
because I always find that still in our country more to the women I've met here
Right.
still don't have that support system of another woman.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Right.
yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
So we women always, being a woman, it's a little tricky to say that, but we don't support each other women
Right.
more.
Right.
So I would prefer to be helping another
Woman,
Lady.
yeah.
women or other lady runner
compared to
as
a
compared to this thing. So yeah.
That's a really
Women power.
yeah.
I think
And it's like,
mom will be really happy.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
Well,
So because I have always seen, for me, always I had guys who were there with me to support.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
many, not because they were there to kind of be there to support me, but maybe the paces I ran with are not many women run,
Comfortable
so
with
it's
it,
not
yeah.
comfortable with that.
Yeah.
So I have more women supporting this thing. So that's where it comes to, like, and many women want that this thing, but
Yeah.
not all of them have that kind of an guys supporting them.
Yeah.
So somewhere if I have that one chance where I want to kind of support
Yeah.
somebody,
Yeah.
I would prefer more a woman to this thing. Yeah.
That's really nice. Really nice.
I think on that very positive note, today's episode comes to an end. Just today's, I'm purposely saying that.
Yeah.
Because you never know when this can happen again.
No, thank you so much. It was
That's our
pleasure to
pleasure.
have spoken to you so openly.
Likewise,
and,
I mean, it's our pleasure, I would say.
elaborately. So it was nice. I had a good time.
Thank you.
Auntie.
Thank you so
ma'am
much.
And
No.
auntie. Now it's become a slash.
No, so
in
yeah, you can
between.
say it ma'am/auntie. So auntie/ma'am. So,
No, but from the bottom of our hearts,
Yeah,
thank you so much
much.
for taking out
Time,
time.
yeah.
We're really grateful for
Yes.
that.
thank you
And
you
you've
for
been-
actually having put it on me in your list of
No, I mean, it's like
kind of
like we said,
this
it's our
thing.
pleasure only to
Yeah.
Yeah,
sit over here and talk to you about whatever we did. So thank you so much. On that
Yeah.
note, like thank you and
Yes,
Yeah.
and all the very best
Thank
for your
you.
future
Thank you.
these
Thank
things,
you.
and
Thank you.
take up this passion
Yeah.
and do more whatever you do better, and
Yes.
then
We take from your story as inspiration, because we said inspiration comes
yeah,
from
exactly,
every person.
exactly.
And
we are also
different
running a
ways.
marathon in our journey. over
Yeah.
this.
Yes, yeah, just started, so there's a
Yeah.
long
Long way to
journey,
go.
long
Yeah.
way to
Yeah.
go,
Yeah.
and hopeful you'll be doing
Yes.
Yeah.
better than what you both have thought for yourself.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you
It
so
means
much,
a lot,
Madam.
Auntie.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And thank you to the viewers. We'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye bye.